Yes.
Yeah. Are you not from here?
Okay.
Oh,
so
let me
okay.
get the whole tea going. I was like, oh, damn.
Started.
2 phones, one for the plug.
Wait. It's the work phone. It's the
Right. I got you. I got your bag. That's fine.
Yeah. You looking for me, you can find me at the spot. Chopping it up with Jonah, we talking about what's hot on the block. Up in Dago, man, we bumping. Keeping it confidential, you notice how we coming, we in front. Looking for that real, better tune in and stick by. Put on for the city every time that I dip by. Get into that gritty every time that we sit down. Promise you it's real every time that I get round.
Welcome back, Barbershop Confidential, the podcast. Your boy Jonah. We back. Today, my guest, who I met for the very first time today, Quane.
Yes.
Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. I like the hair. I like your aesthetic.
Thank you. I hear that often too. Yeah, because I know it's not like that out here.
It's yeah.
For sure.
A lot of girls don't like the short hair, and I think it looks good, but I think it looks even better like on black women. Absolutely.
It
y'all
carries
mastered
different.
Yeah.
It carries different.
Yeah. Whenever I see like a white woman with it, I'm like, oh, she likes brothers.
You know what?
For sure, she likes the brothers.
There's a few. Yeah.
They got like that little stereotype look. You're like,
absolutely. But I mean, on some of them, they pull it off.
For sure.
It definitely pulls off really well on them.
Yeah. Like, I think it's just the styling of it and the cut.
Oh yeah. Especially if it fits you right, like the right shape for your head and everything. And my barber, shout out to my barber. He does a great job, Paul.
Where's this shop at?
He's at Mecca Barbershop over in Mira Mesa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, he gets down.
Mm-hmm. He does.
Respect to him.
Look, no fear.
How long have you been rocking your hair like that?
About 2 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, about 2 years. I tried to grow it out twice, and it just.
It's like a thing, right?
It's a thing. Yeah. It is. It just fits me now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I'm sure at some point in time I'm going to grow out of it. But at this moment, I tried to grow it out once. And then my mom did like some faux look on me. And 2 days later, I cut it off. And I showed up at the house and we're talking. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, my bad. Like, I cut it all off. Yeah. And she immediately was just like, I didn't even notice. Because fits you. Oh. It just fits you. And I was like, thank you.
You have a good shaped head.
Yeah.
You and Jada Pickett, you know?
I hear that a lot. I do.
And you were saying you're not from here.
Not originally, no. I'm originally from Florida, Jacksonville, Duval County.
What's the area code out there?
You know what? Actually, I don't even know. Because I didn't even live there that long.
Are you?
But my dad's retired. My dad's retired Navy, so we moved around a lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Navy. What is Navy brat?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, they are. Or military brat.
Military brat.
Whichever one you want to go with.
Is that what offended? Like
not to me.
Oh, okay.
Not to me.
You had this look like.
I hear it.
You went there.
Yeah, I hear it, but not to me. Oh, okay. It's not that big of a deal. That's what's up. I don't do labels.
How long you been out here in San Diego?
Long enough, but not enough to influence me, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, you know
so
what I mean?
So you still got a little bit of your Florida roots?
Yeah, yeah. Because my dad is from New York and my mom's from Jamaica. So I have a different, I move differently. I do.
Does she have the accent?
When she's mad. That's it.
All immigrant parents, right?
When she's mad, it comes out. Yes.
What about your dad? Does he have the New York accent?
Not really. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Which I'm really thinking about that. I'm like, no, he's never, except for like certain words, like father.
But he was in the military too.
Yeah.
So that very disciplined and proper.
Exactly. More so my mom though, because my mom's like British English. Oh. So we grew up getting corrected often. Oh. Often. Yeah. Often. Pronunciations were
big.
Yes.
I learned Spanish through my cousins making fun of me. I'm Mexican.
Really? Oh,
and,
okay. I definitely wasn't even picking up on Mexican.
No? Samoan, maybe?
Yeah.
You should have seen me when I had long curly hair. It would have been
man, it was a wrap.
Goose for sure, yeah. But they would make fun of my Spanish.
Oh, really?
And it would frustrate me because I'm like, dude, I don't live here, man. Like,
yeah.
But I knew Spanish because my mom, that's her only language, really.
Oh, okay.
But just not well enough for them, I guess.
Right.
So I would watch TV shows and like pronounce the words properly.
Oh, okay.
So then one year I went back there, like, oh, damn, you been practicing? Like, yeah, tired of y'all, man.
You're like, I'm ready.
And then I text them and they make fun of me. I was like, oh my God. Dude,
all over again.
I can't win with y'all. Damn. So you like San Diego?
I mean, I'll say now.
Or you were like, kind of like, hesitant to accept it?
So after I graduated, because I did go to high school out here.
Oh, okay.
So after I graduated from high school, I went to school for a little bit, and then I ended up joining the Navy myself.
Oh.
And I did 6 years, and I was over on the East Coast. And then when I came back, it was cool, but I wasn't really exploring San Diego. I wasn't really going out when I moved back. I really kept to myself, Yeah. And I was supposed to move to LA. Around 2 years ago, the same time I cut off my hair. They're not connected though.
I was gonna say, is there a connection? There has to be a boy connection too, because usually women do that.
Yeah. Yes, but we won't speak on that right now because I feel like that's a little bit more personal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I did. I was supposed to move to LA, and then when I end up not going, I think that's when I started to open up a little bit more to explore San Diego. And I do have a little bit more of an appreciation just off of some of the people that I've met. There's a lot of dope individuals out there. There are. Yeah. But yeah, I do enjoy San Diego.
That's good. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah. I like to hear outsiders appreciate the city I grew up in. And shit.
Yeah. Especially a lot of the girls that I've met. I feel like I have a good core group.
Oh, that's important.
That I hang out with. Yeah. So that's what made me like San Diego.
A little easier?
More. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Where did you, are you like a social butterfly? Are you easy to approach and talk to, if you're out and about?
So I used to say that I'm an introverted extrovert. Or no, extrovert, what's it? Introverted extrovert. Yeah. So I keep to myself. I do. But in the right spaces when I'm comfortable, I open up and then I show who I am. But there's even times where I'll go somewhere and I'm just this isn't the right crowd. So I'll just sit back and chill and people come to me.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I want to say that I probably still have good aura about me and energy about me. And that's why people still come around. So I read off as extroverted, but I'm really not.
No,
I'm not.
I don't know how to.
I'm not.
I don't know how to be in quiet spaces.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the elevator and I could be the only one and there's nobody talking, I'll make a joke and start talking because I don't like that uncomfortableness. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, you guys seen the movie Devil? You know what I mean? Just some random
oh no, not in the elevator.
That's why I do it though, because if they seen it, they're gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro?
Right now?
Shit kind of shaky too.
Exactly. No music. It's dead silent in here. Oh yeah. Who's gonna do it?
Yeah. Who's gonna be the killer?
Exactly.
You seen the movie?
No, actually I haven't. I just know off of the previews. I don't do scary movies. If I do them, it has to be earlier in the day, early in the day.
Sun
exactly. So I can watch the cartoons, a little happy movie afterwards. A couple of them because I need to burn the memory out.
That's my fiance.
Yeah.
She loves scary movies, but right after I'd be like, all right, babe, straight to bed. She's like, no, cartoons.
No, exactly.
And I'm like, no, come on, babe. She's like, no, please.
You have to.
And she watches them half, oh.
Yeah. Oh, no, No, I've done that a couple of times. And I jump. I was
easy
in a
scare?
movie. I'm very easy to scare. I've been in the movie theaters and I had a grown man next to me jump.
A what?
A grown man.
Oh, I thought you said girl man.
Yeah,
I was like, I mean, these days.
No, he was at the movie. I forget what movie it was too, but I was sitting there and I jumped and the guy next to me jumped and then his friend started laughing at him because he thought he got scared and he's like, no, she jumped. She made me scared. I was like, I'm sorry. That was me, my bad.
So you definitely don't do the scary trails and the haunted mansions and
I've
stuff?
never done those.
What?
I've never done those.
Damn.
No.
It's probably not for you, so.
I keep saying I'm going to do it one day, but yeah, no. I don't know if I could. Even now, my heart is racing just thinking about it.
That's how I feel when you see videos of dudes who walk on ledges.
Yeah.
With like no support. I'm like, I start getting nervous them.
Did you see the video about some guy that I think it was like, I can't remember if it was in Tokyo or he was on a skyscraper and he went and did a whole, like he was trying to do a whole thing and he died.
Oh, he died?
Yeah.
I mean,
he was on social media trying to show off and.
See, I'm cool off that.
Yeah, exactly. No.
I'm
Put
okay.
me next to a harness for sure.
Yeah.
I'll do it if I'm I'm rigged up. Because I was an ET in the Navy, so we climb up the mast, all that stuff. I enjoy that, but yeah, I had safety on me, so I know I was good.
What kind of a boat were you on?
I was on a DDG.
Okay.
And also
is that a destroyer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was also on a cruiser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So small boys.
I've been on a carrier.
Yeah.
My sister's ex was in the Navy, and he took us on board on a carrier. That shit is huge.
It is.
It's like a city.
And that's why I requested to be on the small boy. That's why I did it. Because for me, when I wanted to be on a small boy because I knew it would be easier for me to stand out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
too
many people on a
to move up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's bigger, then there's more people.
Yeah, and it's easier to get involved, like for like the different jobs on the side and whatnot that you can do. So that's why I wanted to be on a small boy.
Maybe you can answer it because I've heard this before from somebody, but she didn't want to go into because she's active.
Oh, got you.
Boat hose.
Yes.
Are those a thing?
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it really is.
She didn't want to go too much detail.
Married women, like
that's
let's talk on both sides.
On both sides,
yes, on both sides. Yes.
She would tell me that two individuals would let's see would hook up, and when they come home, they would just go back to their their spouses or whatever.
Yeah. No, they're like that. No. And I remember the first time, when I actually witnessed it and found out and everything.
Were you shocked?
I was. Well, also, oh man, I hate to do this on here, but
safe space, Quane.
For now,
to it airs, and they're like,
now. But yeah, when I after that, I was just like, oh my god, my dad was in the Navy for 20 years. You know what I mean?
So it makes you think you're like,
yeah,
I gotta talk to my dad now.
Yeah, we gotta have some conversations, But yeah, no, it's real. It's real. There's a lot of.
You think the spouses know?
That they know?
Yeah, you think they know?
Some of them knew.
Oh, some of them were okay with it?
Because it's I guess to them, it was just kind of as long as it doesn't trickle into the home, keep it there.
All right.
Look, that's not me, but
more power to these women and men.
Exactly.
I'm sure both sides.
Yeah. So, but they're real.
They're
real.
Yeah. Because I always say all military dudes have a horrible reputation of cheating.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when they're out to sea, you're not gonna walk up on, you're not pulling up on them.
And with that, they even they say sea goggles.
Sea goggles. What's
that? Meaning somebody that you wouldn't typically find attractive at that point in time.
Kind of like beer goggles.
Yes, you've been out long enough. All of a sudden, it's oh.
You know what? She kind of got a fatty, bro.
Okay, I could.
That's terrible.
It is. It definitely is, because there's been a few where afterwards there.
Has there while you were in there, did you see any backlash where the wife or husband found out and it came back, bit them in the ass?
Actually, no.
Oh,
I haven't.
That must have been cool, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, that was on the East Coast. Yeah, I mean, I did my last year out here in San Diego, but there is a difference between the two.
Really?
On the East Coast, it's definitely a lot more strict.
It's frowned upon?
It's a lot more strict over there, just in general.
Oh.
In general, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, it's a little bit more relaxed. Just a little bit. But then also, for me, being a woman, and also, I'm not going to knock. I know I'm attractive, so it is what it is.
I know I'm her.
Exactly. But with that, on the West Coast, when I was over here on my last year in the Navy, and I was on a ship, I wasn't treated differently. They actually welcomed me in, and as if I was actually a part of. On the East Coast, it was kind of oh, she's pretty, she's not going to do any work. But
oh, damn.
Yeah, they just assumed.
Oh, shit.
They assumed. Yeah, so that's why I got my ESWAS in 6 months, because I was fuck all y'all.
I heard a saying a long time ago that stuck with me. Assumptions is the mother of all fuck ups. You know, because people assuming is like the worst thing you can do.
It absolutely is. Like, it's limiting.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
especially
limiting.
for women. You already got enough to deal with. Like,
right.
Oh, she's pretty. She ain't gonna work hard. Or oh, she's pretty. We know how she got her promotions. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It does. It absolutely does.
The struggles of a woman.
You know, it's hard out here.
And you're a mom?
I am.
You said you have 2 boys?
2 boys.
A good boy mom.
Boy mom. I actually like it. It's dope.
Yeah?
It really is.
I told my fiance I want a girl. Oh, really?
Yeah, no. Like, it wasn't until like afterwards, once I had my second, for a moment, I thought he was going to be a girl because the way I was carrying. Oh, okay. But then after a point, I was just like, watch he be a boy. He's going to be a boy. Like, you know, and sure enough. So I'm convinced that's all I'm producing.
Boy factory.
Boy factory.
Yeah. Any more?
At this moment in time, it's undecided.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say no.
Because you never know what life throws at you.
Exactly. So, but I do want to be married because the other 2 were not married.
They're out of wedlock?
They were out of wedlock.
You are not walking in faith.
Oh my God, not at all.
Was that big in your household?
Yes.
Okay. Faith?
Yeah. Okay. Very. Yeah. Very
Christian?
much so. Yes.
God-fearing Christians. Okay.
Yes. I mean, they relaxed a lot, you know, as of late, you know.
They're like, you already got 2 dollars. So.
You know, so, but yeah, in the very beginning, it was like that. But also, like, my mom had me young, and they weren't married at that point in time. And they got married after they had my sister. So, yeah, so shortly after her, they did get married. So, yeah.
It's funny how parents do that, huh?
I know, right?
Like, my mom would give me a hard time because I live with my fiance. She's like, you guys are not married.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you moved to the U.S. without being married? You had me without being married?
Exactly.
And so, but they're like, you can't judge your mother. I'm like, I'm not, I'm just saying. Like,
exactly.
Let's keep the energy.
Let's be consistent.
Yeah. Let's be consistent with the rules we follow, Mom. Yeah.
I know. But it's different now. Like, my parents are definitely a lot more, specifically my mom. Like, I do enjoy the relationship that we have now. For sure. It's a lot more open. And I realized, too, for me, it was me having to open up and actually, you know, like, have those kind of conversations with her. And that's what really shifted the dynamic, you know? So I do enjoy. I do.
Are you the oldest?
I am the oldest.
How many siblings?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Are any of them out here?
2 of them are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have family here?
Yes, I do. My parents are here too.
Oh, your parents are here too?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, they're close. They're like about 10 minutes away.
Oh, so you got your roots out here then?
Yeah. Now, yes, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. So it's a little bit easier then.
It is. It is. I don't think I could, like, if they were elsewhere, I would most likely move. Just to be close enough. Yeah. You know, I mean, unless I was successful in finding a tribe, which I feel like I have now, you know, but yeah.
That's important though.
It really is.
Yeah. I moved away from San Diego and it was like rough at first.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
But you start to meet people and make you feel more comfortable. And
right.
Like, you can do it. So.
And then I also feel like, I mean, for those that I've, you know, had conversations with where they're born and raised and then they, you know, move away and then they come back, you have a different appreciation. Yes. You know, you definitely have a different appreciation. So for me, like the moving around constantly, like I was used to every 2 to 3 years. Like, when are we gonna go? When are we gonna go? Yeah. Even when we were in San Diego, as soon as my dad retired out here, they were supposed to buy a house in Florida, and even then, my sister and my brother were just like, so when are we leaving? Yeah,
my bags are halfway
right. Like, are we going? Like, when are we leaving? Because we were just used to that, you know, the starting over. Like,
that must be rough.
Nothing.
For kids?
In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning it was. But I think that's when you really lean on your family the most, you know?
Because at that point, really, that's all you have.
Exactly.
Because you can't even make friends because you know, like, this is over in 2 years, bro. Exactly. Don't get used to me.
Right.
I'm out. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I still have people from, like, I lived on Guam for 5 years.
Oh, nice.
So I have, like, people that I went to elementary school out there that still hit me up. And then, like, you know, we check in and see how everybody's doing. So it's still cool.
The power of social media.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do like it, for sure.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And you got to live. You got to travel, experience different cultures.
And that's
which
the
is
part,
important.
Right. And so even now, like, you know, my kids are pretty much going to be raised here, you know. But that's the biggest thing is for me right now is just like they're getting close to that age where I want to start like traveling with them and taking them to different places. I mean, the food's easy. You can take them to anywhere to go and try different foods. Yeah. But I want them to step out of their comfort zone for sure.
That's cool.
For
How old
sure.
are
Early. 10 and 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 10-year-old, that's a good age.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He's already asking. Where are we gonna go? You're always going somewhere. When am I gonna go?
I want to be flown out too, Mom.
Yeah.
Are you excited or ready or anxious for like the girl phase? Because that 10-year-old's getting close.
I know, and I'm probably already lie, I'm scared.
Looking.
Well, it's so it's funny because my ex, he has an older son. He's 13 now. And there was one time where he was actually making fun of my 10-year-old and saying like, "Oh, you got a crush, you know." And Jaden basically was just like, "Well, I mean, it makes sense for me to have a crush. Like, I've known her since we were in kindergarten. Like, you know what I mean?" Yeah, he was just like, "You making fun of me, but I mean, look at the timeline, you know." Exactly. Like, so I mean, for me, I think the biggest fear is not so much like, you know, the aspect of just dating for him, but it's the first heartbreak. That's the part where, because, you know, it's different.
You gotta sit there and explain that it's part of life.
Right. Yeah. My dad didn't do that. My dad freaked out the first time when I had a boyfriend and I you know, broke up. I was like crying and I was like, he broke up with me. And my dad's just like, I don't know what to do, right? Yeah. Not even 10 minutes later, I was like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm crying right now. I'm gonna go back to school. There was this other guy that was interested. Like, and my dad was like, all right. Like,
yeah. He's like, whew.
Like, right. That saved me.
Yeah. I thought it was a bullet there.
Exactly. So, but yeah.
You know, I never had those conversations either. My dad died when I was young, and my mom, she never had those conversations.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, life was just like, throw me in the pool and see what happens. Type,
yeah. You know? No, and see, I think that's the other part is like, because I have, you know, the boys, like having boys, I'm realizing even with that, it's so important to have like some form of like male figures, you know, within their life, like male role models. At one point in time, I even had a conversation with my dad and was just honest with him. And I said, look, you know, like, yes, he has his stepdad, you know, but he needs more. So I need you to step up more, you know, like I'm being completely honest. I really did that with my father. I was just like, I need you to step up, you know, like sometimes just take him out, you know, just to go do something. And my dad heard me. Because shortly thereafter, he went, and one day he was just like, we stopped by the house, and he goes, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take Jaden to, you know, go over into the store. So every time when we're at the house and we're going to be there for a while with, like, no real plans, my dad will take my son and just spend a little quality time with him, and I appreciate it because it's important. Yeah. It really is, you know, so.
Because most days we like, I already did my fathering.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. Right. Yeah, but I think he heard the tone of importance. Like, I was like, I need this. Yeah. Like, my son needs this, you know? So he stepped up.
I was listening to some about partners. Sometimes they don't communicate, but they, like, let's say you're at home with the kids all day and you know, the dad comes home and he sees that you're like, battery is low. He's like, I got it. You know, I should be able to make up the difference. Yeah. Because I see that you're low instead of, where I think most families, they come home, he's like, well, I'm tired too.
Right.
And then the kids kind of like suffer for it.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do, you know, because it's on both sides. It's one parent not really being fully active within the dynamic and then the other doing the most. And I'll say that for me personally, now being 35 and I reflect on it, like I've noticed that, and I've actually had that conversation even with my mom. Like, yes, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but my mom was the more active parent. Like, no shade to my dad, but my mom was the more active parent. And because of that, I told her, I was like, there's certain things that I've come to realize that, you know, one, my dad really didn't know, like in his mind, because of how he grew up, him being there was him being a father, you know, just being present, like physically present, not so much active, but physically present was him saying, I am, you know? So with my mom, like having that conversation where she was the one that was constantly stepping in and doing, it definitely had some form of an influence, even just like in the relationships that I've had, you know. So it's it's different. It is.
I guess I can see why guys would follow what they see.
Yeah,
like dudes who think supplying money is being a dad instead of being theirs because their dad probably did it.
Exactly. But also at the same time, you know, it's either or. It's one of those things where, you know, for some people they'll say, oh, like I grew up where one parent was constantly cheating. So of course I'm going to.
That don't make sense to me though.
Right. But then there's other where it's like, yeah, I grew up where a parent was cheating. So I will never do that to my partner. So it's you know, it's a coin. Yeah, it's definitely a coin toss, you know, but it's a choice.
A beautiful excuse for them, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I saw my dad do it.
Yeah.
And how'd your mom like it? She didn't. So,
right.
You thought I would?
Okay, exactly. So
that's horrible. Yeah, but I see what you're saying. That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Good mom. You sound like a good mom.
Yeah, thank you. I try.
Extra flowers for you on Mother's Day.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice, but... But yeah.
We were talking about you're an esthetician?
Yes.
What do you mainly do? Can you answer, like, is that like an umbrella for like a lot of different services?
So so as an esthetician, you can either go like the skincare realm. There is the skincare realm. When I actually went to school to become an esthetician, like I thought I was going to be doing facials. And then it turned out while I was in school, I'm actually really good at waxing. So now that's mainly what I do. I do waxing. I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to do eyelash extensions as well. So I do like classic and volume, but that's just me on the side now.
Okay.
Not so much like within my job description, but I do enjoy what I do. I do both male and female clients. Like there's not too many of those, but I do both.
Not too many
estheticians, like female
that do
estheticians
both. Okay.
that do both on like both. So I do that. But yeah, I do enjoy it. It's more so the conversations that I have with my clients.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, are you like bossy in a relationship?
I don't think I was in the beginning.
But you became?
I think so to a degree. I think what happens is I didn't communicate a lot. I didn't in the beginning. Okay. I definitely didn't. And I think now that's one of the things that I'm still working on. It's easy to do the one-on-one and have regular conversations with people. But when it comes down to the relationship dynamic, I do tend to be more of like the silent partner, you know,
okay.
Like because I grew up where the man was the head of the household. So I kind of
like in that role. Okay.
Yeah.
I only asked because I asked because you do like the waxing. And so I wonder if there's any like correlation to like that, like power of like
really?
Ripping
you know what?
hair
I've
off.
heard that where like some people will say like, oh, is it because
like a dominatrix type thing?
Right, but it's not.
No, okay.
It's absolutely
you
not.
Liked it.
Yeah,
you like seeing dudes in pain?
Nah, no. But that's the thing is like even then when I'm doing that, like they're actually not in pain.
Oh, okay.
I'm like I'm not heavy-handed. I'm not like. I don't do all of that. I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. Okay, ready? Like talking them through it and then having conversations so that they're comfortable. Because
I've had it done.
Yeah. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Yeah? How was it?
I hate to say that I kind of like pain a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't find it painful, but it's not. It's not like a tickling sensation.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You can feel it and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially, and see that even with that means that whoever did your wax was actually really good.
Oh,
because based off of how you're pulling and everything else, that can make or break the experience for sure.
Okay.
Like for sure. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was her first time. She bought like the kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was my fiance's best friend. She's like, let me do it. And I was like, if you want.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. So she bought like this, Amazon kit.
Yeah.
And I think she was with the intention to like hurt me or like to see like me react to it. But I have a high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
So she didn't get it, but I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. So at my job, we actually do sugar waxing.
Also, it's different.
So, yeah, it's different because it's just grabbing the hair, and then I thread too. So we thread afterwards. We don't use tweezers.
Thread.
Like take the thread and and it pulls the hairs up. Okay. Yeah, it's different.
Have you threaded a guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking like,
to remove the hair after the wax, obviously. Oh. But yeah, like after the wax, whatever hair is left over, thread.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Doesn't that hurt?
When it's done wrong.
So it's all on the person doing it.
It's all on the person that's doing it. Yeah.
Is there any guys who wax?
There actually are some male estheticians that do waxing. There's not, I mean, it's a little harder for them to like, find work in that
because
sense.
I'm sure like as a woman, you're like,
right. No. Exactly.
But as a guy, I wouldn't want to go get waxed by
a guy. Exactly. Exactly.
Such a gray area.
Yeah, it is. But there's some really great male estheticians that are out there though. So, but it's just, they're like hidden gems.
I saw this trend on TikTok where this girl was like, babe, I just got waxed. And he's like, oh, cool. And she'd go, oh, but my regular girl wasn't there. But they sent me to like their best. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And she goes, yeah, he was very nice and complimenting. He's like, what you girl? You trying to die? What you mean? And she'd be like, no, he's a professional. Like, he's the best in their shop. And he's like, nah, what are you talking about? He like, girl, you about to get messed up.
No, well, because and the thing is I don't know if they're still there, but there actually was a waxing studio. It was in Hillcrest, but it was a male esthetician, and he did male and female waxing.
Maybe their, sexual preference matters. Like if they're gay. And it's like another gay guy, maybe.
I mean,
it'd be more comfortable.
Yeah, he was. But the other esthetician that I know that
he was straight.
He was straight. Oh, yeah, he was straight. So, yeah,
that's a different angle.
Yeah, yeah, he was straight. So, yeah.
I used to want to work at like Mac and Sephora when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
And then be like, what? That's kind of like sus, whatever. And I was like,
no.
As a straight man, I would want to be where women are.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
And what more to like be able to talk to them about something they love.
There's money in it too.
Makeup,
There's money in it
and
too.
they'd be like, what? That's kind of strange. I was like, oh no, I'm trying to think smarter. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder.
Right. Actually, actually. And then, all those different products, you can easily have a conversation for sure.
See?
Like, oh, what do you use? Oh, okay. Well, have you ever thought about? And they'll be like, wait a minute.
Excuse me? Yeah, because I used to, my thing was eyebrows. So like if I was like in line or something, I'd be like, girl, my eyebrows is fresh. And they'd be like, what? Like, you notice my eyebrows? Are those threaded or wax? Those look good.
Yeah.
And so it's like throws them off a little bit,
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to work smarter.
That? Yeah.
Not no more though, because tie down, but whatever.
Yeah. Not so much now.
Yeah, not so much. Do your clients tell you like personal stuff? I'm thinking like, is it like a haircut?
Yeah,
where they share things. Things you're like maybe.
Yeah, it is. And when you have like a solid rotation of clients too, it gets to a point where as soon as you see their name, you're just kind of like, oh, I need to make sure that I check in because the last time we had a conversation about this, so let me just make sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I do enjoy. I do. And then even for me, For me, at the end of the day, like, yes, I'm great at waxing, but I think the biggest thing is just being able to like have that space for people to just talk freely, so that I do enjoy. I don't have like crazy stories. No. You know what I mean? I mean, outside of, not so much now, but I mean, in the very beginning when I first started waxing, there were a couple of instances, and it wasn't even with like women, it was with the male clients, where after a point I was kind of like, I don't even think I want to wax any men anymore because like,
oh damn, like that.
Yeah, it was that bad. Like I
did they get excited?
No, it wasn't even that. It was I had one male client that he came in and he was a walk-in. He was a walk-in client. He came in and he was just like, oh, I used to have this person that I go to, but she's not available because she's out of town. So I just need to get a wax done real quick. And I had the availability. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll take him. Like, no problem. Did the wax. And then afterwards he booked his next one with me. He like went ahead and booked his next one. And it was about the third session. And this man, he got up after we were done because he kept trying to pay compliments. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, kept like paying. At this point in time, I used to wear like different wigs and whatnot. So I had like this little curly one, and he kept paying a compliment. And then he goes, "Oh, your boyfriend probably really loves that wig on you." And I was like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Were you working the upper body or the lower?
Doing the lower.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing the lower.
I'm just trying to,
put
myself in this.
Like laid out naked, and I'm sitting there pulling strips and
off
he's
his ass,
trying to like paying compliments, and I was just like, okay, whatever. This is whatever. I just over the head, And then once I finished, he started asking me. He's like, "Oh, would you ever do a house call?" For a wax. And I was like, no. And he was like, "You've never thought to do that?" And I said, no. And he was like, "But you could make so much money doing that." And I was like, no. Damn. Like, this is where I work at. Yeah. They come here. This is where I do the waxing, And afterwards, he gets up and he doesn't get dressed. He has his boxers laid out at the end of the bed, and he's just like spreading them out, and he's still trying to talk to me.
Naked.
And
freshly waxed, at least.
And I turn around and I'm just like, I remember in that moment, like there was a moment where I was like slightly in fear, just for a moment, because we have to lock the doors so nobody can walk in. And because of the way everything was set up in the room, like it's not like I could like quickly go around the bed and get to the door, and not like I could, call out to somebody like, "Hey, I need you to, come in," or whatnot, because I had the door locked. And I kept saying, "Okay, well, I have a client, my client is waiting, so I need you to get dressed so that way, I can go ahead and take my next client." He still wasn't listening. He still was trying to talk and everything. And then finally I got to a point where I straight up was just like, "I need you to get dressed because I have a client outside that is waiting on me." And he's like, oh, okay. He left and he tipped me like $60 on top of his wax. And the manager there, she turns around and she comes in the room. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Quane, he tipped you so much." And in my mind, I was like, yeah, only because he was being inappropriate in the room, And then I called my best friend to talk to her about it. And right away, she was just like, "Quane, he was conditioning you. Like you've been waxing him for so many times. He was conditioning you to get to you to that point where he could try and test the waters to get you to be like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll do it. No, So immediately after she said that to me, I turned around and I told my manager, I was like, "He's no longer welcome to be booked with me. Do not book him with nobody else. Like, don't book him with anybody else." For 3 months after that, that man was calling.
Oh, wow.
Still trying to make an appointment.
That's almost like stalkers.
Exactly.
That's creepy.
Exactly. Yeah. And shortly thereafter, I had another client where actually he tried to, in the middle of me doing the wax, and I left the room with the wax strip on him and walked out.
Tried to...
Like he was...
Oh!
Yeah.
He was...
in the middle of me saying, "Okay, move it over to the side so that I can go ahead and apply the wax."
He got excited.
And as I went to go grab the wax, I turned... No, he was stroking himself.
Shut the...
I'm dead ass.
Yo!
Yeah, and I turned around and I said, "Nope." Just like that. I was like, "Nope." I walked out, left the strip and the wax on him, and did not care. And like my manager was like, Quane. And I said, "Nah, somebody got to tell him he got to go." Like, somebody got to tell him he got to go. And one of the girls was like, "I'll do it." Like, she didn't even care, And my manager was like, no. And then afterwards, like, he came back and he was like apologizing. And he was like,
"You can't apologize after that. What's wrong with you?" Let me finish.
Look, that's the thing, is because he still had the wax on him, and he got fully dressed and he still had the wax on him. And he was just like, please, I can't be left like this. And I turned around and I was just like, I looked at him and I said, "I am a professional." I said, "This is what I do. This is my job. This is not for you to, get your rocks off or anything." I was like, "So this is what's going to happen. We're going to go in this room. I'm going to finish this wax. And when we're done, you going to walk out and you going to pay me good." Like, you know what I mean? He's like, okay. Like, Len did it, and then we were good to go. And then I stopped for a little bit after that.
There has to be something to protect you guys against that. Like, that has to be like sexual assault. Or like, I
mean,
I don't know why. Sometimes I wonder why women like men. We be doing some off the wall shit.
Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't like when men try to like grab at me or pull on my arm, like trying to get my attention.
Like at the club or something.
Yeah, like I don't like any of that stuff. Like for me, it's Like, and obviously I know for me it's because of like experiences, you know, but like, it's like there's a better way to do it. You don't have to do it like that.
That was
like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm appreciate if you use a good line, and I'm gonna let you know it was good too. You know, I'm gonna laugh and I'm like, I like that. What's your name? You know what I mean? Like, but outside of that,
not start stroking in front.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Before that happened, was he like somebody you found like attractive?
Hell no.
Oh
no.
Yeah, no shot.
No. No, but even then, it's a job. I'm right. Dead serious. It's a job for sure.
That's like, interesting.
For sure. I don't. Nobody that walks in the room, do I look at him and go, "Oh, okay, let's see." No.
The confidence, though, right?
Yeah.
For him to be like, when she turns me over,
yeah,
she's not gonna be able to resist.
Yeah, no. I don't even think he was thinking that far, to be honest. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking that far. I'll be.
I think it's weird that
with you.
Guys do that. Like the service, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
get it done?
Yeah, like that's
but
that's
you know
far.
what? I was actually having a conversation. It's more so straight men that actually get a full Brazilian.
Really?
Yeah. I think for some people they think that no, it's the straight man. And a lot of times it's because their girlfriend or their wife is the one who wants them to get it done.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What we do for love.
Exactly. And in some cases they'll actually the wife or the girlfriend will be in there the first few times. Just to, you know, and then after that, it's like, okay, we're good now. Okay, I'm gonna go see, you know, or I'm seeing both of them, one after the other. Oh. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's mainly straight men that actually get a Brazilian wax.
Look at that.
Yeah, right. I know.
Go guys.
I know that one's stumped. Like, you know.
Do girls go in there? And, you know, when they're going to get it, they're like, girl, I got a hot date tonight or something.
Yeah.
But I heard that they have to wait. They're technically supposed to.
So you're supposed to with other waxes. With sugar wax, you're good to go.
Oh, look at that, ladies.
Exactly. So,
fresh out the box.
Yeah, so with the sugar wax, you definitely can. Yeah, and the reason
not yanking at the skin.
Yeah, because it's not on the skin. So with the sugar wax, it's only grabbing hair. So you're actually you're good to go.
And the other waxes is because it opens the pores.
It's because it's exfoliating the skin. So it's not just grabbing the hair; it's also grabbing whatever like dead skin may possibly be there. So the combination of both, it definitely leaves you a lot more exposed. Yeah.
Does sugaring last just as long as waxing?
It does. In my personal opinion, you'll see the results a lot better with the sugar wax. I've noticed like the difference between the like sugar wax and like hard wax in general. The hair comes back a lot finer with the sugar wax. So you see the results a lot quicker as far as like if you're really trying to slow down the growth, the sugar wax is definitely the best way to go.
The more you know.
The more you know, exactly.
Because I have chest hair and back hair, and then if we go somewhere where I know like I'm gonna wear a cutoff or like go to the pool,
right?
I did do the wax ones, but I had like a bunch of little like bumps.
Oh, was it? So where did it have like hair in it, or was it?
No, it's kind of like almost like pimply.
Okay, so a lot of times when that happens too, in some cases for some people, it's kind of like a histamine reaction, you know. So if you're gonna get a wax done, you want to take like maybe like Benadryl, you know, to just like help, you know, minimize the reaction that you typically get. And then even then, in some cases, depending on what type of wax that they use. So if they did like a roll-on wax and it was the soft wax, it's a little slight irritation on your skin because of the pulling of the hair in the skin. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now I just trim it with like some trim. Hurts less.
It does. But yeah, you should try sugaring then sometime.
I think I will.
Yeah, come see me.
The upper body for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just the upper body.
I don't know about having my knees, but you know, get in there, girl.
Right. But yeah.
Did you ever do it to your partners? Like, babe, let me practice on you. Yak.
So when I first got my job, they had you bring in a model just to see like, you know, how your technique was. And then afterwards, they're very hands-on with their training, you know. So I did have to bring in like a male model and then a female model for the wax. And I'm laughing only because when I needed to get a male model, I didn't even ask my boyfriend at the time. I asked my oldest son's dad and had him come in to do the wax.
Yo, that's disrespectful.
I know. really
I need a real man.
Like, damn, I really was messed up about that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even do the wax. I didn't even do the male wax. I just watched.
Somebody do it on you.
I watched somebody else do it on him. You know, one of the girls there who actually was one of the male waxers. Oh, okay. So I had her do it, and you know, and he was the model for it, and I was watching as he was getting it done. I felt so bad for him.
Is it like you're like, nah, they gonna know that's my man?
No, not at all. Like, no, we were.
Or
so,
like I'm gonna bring in the better piece.
It was like, no, it wasn't even like that. I was just like, for me personally, I didn't want to put my boyfriend at the time through that.
Oh, okay. So you cared about him.
Yeah, I did care. I cared. Plus, I didn't know, like, you know, how it was. I actually ended up having to apologize to, like, you know, to my son's dad afterwards. I, like, once the wax was done, he was like, he hit me up and he goes, man, like, you know, that was really painful. Like, I think, and I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I needed, you know, like when she was doing, I realized, ooh, that's not a good one. Like, that was not a good pull. Like, you know, like I recognized it right away, but we were already halfway there. So it's not like
you can't stop now.
You got to commit. Okay.
Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah.
Your boyfriend at the time, he didn't
even care. He was fine. He didn't care. But the other thing too is I knew if I asked him, he was going to say no. So I was not. I mean, you know, I didn't even want to ask him.
That's like a touchy subject, just because the male ego is pretty fragile.
I mean, yes and no. I think I made it easy for him to know that was not something that he really had to worry about. That's good. Like, you know,
reassurance.
Like, yeah, for sure.
That's important.
Yeah,
on both sides.
Because even when I first started waxing, and I said to him, I was like, "Hey, how do you feel about me doing male waxing?" And he was like, I'm fine with it if you're fine with it. And as soon as they start to get inappropriate, Quane, like, and you don't want to deal with it, that works for me too. Oh, so yeah, so he was very supportive.
Very
supportive.
He was,
yeah. He wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And to me at that point in time, I was like, I got a boy. This is nothing at this point. Like, that's just how my mind was at that point. It's like, I mean, I know it's on a grown ass man, but to me, I don't see it that way. Not at all.
Because you're in that world, right?
Yeah.
So for people from outside, they're like,
exactly.
That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So
that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He was very supportive then. I like that.
Yeah, he was.
Shout out that
he
king.
was. I know. Shout out. A quick one.
Don't be late with your payments.
Yeah. Oh no, we don't do that. We don't. No.
No.
We don't. No, we don't do that at all.
No child support.
No, not with him.
Oh, okay.
No. Not with the second. Not with the second. Yeah, no, because he's very active. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's more important.
Exactly.
A little bit of money and shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
When did you realize? And I ain't trying to be rude or anything, but like, when did you realize? Like, damn, I got 2 kids. Like, did it ever hit you negative? Like, damn.
Actually, no. Recently.
Oh,
so
damn.
Recently it did. Only because I don't like when men ask like afterwards, like, oh, do you want more kids? Or like, you know, as soon as they ask me that, I'm just like, damn, I got 2, you know, like instantly I'm like, I got 2. Why are you asking me if I want more? You know? And for a while I had to really think about, okay, why do I get upset about it? You know? And the last time when I had somebody that asked me, and I said to him, I said, you know, normally when men ask me that, like, I actually get upset and I get offended, you know, but I realized it's because I have 2 kids, 2 different fathers, you know, and that's not something that I saw for myself. I mean, like, at all. I mean, who does, you know, at the end of the day, but at the end of it, that's why when you first asked me and I said undecided, because in my mind now, the space that I'm in now is basically just like, okay, if I'm at the next relationship that I'm in, I want it to be, you know, I want to make sure, because I don't want to, if they want kids, of course I want more kids, you know, like I do love being pregnant. I do love having the baby, like every step of the way. Like I love being a mother in that sense, you know, but
you don't want to be,
I do not want to do it by myself again. That part is hard. You know what I mean? I mean, even though, yes, I have a great co-parenting relationship, like, you know, with my youngest's father, and he steps up in being a great father to my oldest as well in that sense. it's still hard, you know, it's still hard because on those weeks, the we trade off every other week, and those weeks that I do have them, it does take a toll on me because I have to make that adjustment from like being by myself to then having the boys again, and then being by myself and just having the boys again. So I haven't really figured that part out, you know.
It's a learning process.
No, I definitely haven't figured that out, but I mean, I'm getting to a point. I'm definitely getting to a point. So yeah,
that's interesting.
Yes.
Have you thought maybe only dating dudes with kids already, like little bit easier? Because dating, I dated somebody who had 2 kids.
Yeah,
and I don't have kids.
Yeah,
and I remember how hard it was.
Right.
Because I always knew like I'll never be first.
Oh.
And like there was things we couldn't do because the kids, right?
Right.
And so I remember thinking like this is tough.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I couldn't understand where she was coming from because I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that dating somebody with kids or no kids.
Right.
Like if you don't have kids,
I don't do the I'm not a like, you know, right off the bat trying to introduce you to my kids kind of person in general.
Yeah. That's kind of wild when you hear women who like, now right away they need to know. Like,
yeah, no,
you're confusing that little kid.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm definitely like, you know, we keep that separate, you know. But I mean, at this point in time, like the last like, you know, where I was dating someone where it was becoming serious in that sense, was 2 years ago.
Oh.
And he was killed. So so that's, you know, that's what catapulted all the different transitions for me at that point in time. So right now, so that's why right now, like when it comes to like dating, I'm very much, I'm more observant than I was before, you know, like I pay attention to things more so now. So like I've gone on a couple of dates with like men that have kids, and, you know, men that don't have kids, and also women, because I identify as, you know, so, but yeah, at this point in time, there's not anybody yet, that I can say where, you know, it's serious enough, like in that way.
To even think about that.
Yeah, to even think that far. Like, at all. Like, at all. You know, so right now, I think right now the biggest thing for me is just focusing on me and my kids.
Yeah, like
for sure.
Especially that's more important.
Yeah,
that's interesting. You dated women. Like, is that different? I mean, like a mom.
Not so much. It's the same thing, and also surprisingly, there's actually a lot more women that are open to, you know, the dynamic of like dating a woman that has kids, even if they don't have them themselves. Like, yeah, it's definitely.
Well, it kind of alleviates a little bit of the pressure, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to have them. She got them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting life you're living.
I know. Yeah, I know, because my parents were definitely
shocked.
I know. At one point in time, it was so funny because the first time when I ever like openly, and this was before I even had my kids, and I was dating a woman, and I remember like, you know, afterwards when I was pregnant with my oldest, my dad actually said to his dad and was like, "Thank you for bringing her back to the light." And I was just like, "What you mean, like bringing her back to the light?" You know? And even now, it's funny because sometimes he'll say certain things, and then he'll be like, "Oh, because you know you used to be," and I'm like, "No, Daddy,
like still."
I still am, you know what I mean? Like, I still am. It's just, it's dependent on my preference at that point in time. Like, and whoever I'm with, that's it. Like, you know, I don't flip flop. Like, you know, like, oh, I'm dating a woman, but I'm sleeping with a man. Like, I don't.
You don't do that.
Nah.
I have a friend who's you know, lesbian.
Yeah.
But she's more of like the you know, like boyish looking side.
Oh, got you.
I don't know if there's a correct term anymore, but or a polite one. And she would tell me, because she would date girls who were like, you know, pretty feminine. Yeah. And she said that with those kind of women, it's never like certain. Yes. Like they might one day be like, no, I like men again.
Yes.
Because it's based off how who makes them feel better or whatever.
Exactly.
She's all, which sucks because we always have to worry about.
There's a risk.
Getting cheated on with a dude, and it's like,
and that hits harder.
The one thing I can't do for her,
yeah,
he can do, and sure enough, she got cheated on.
Oh,
and she found out. I remember we were working together, and she was going through like her girlfriend's messages, and she started like shaking uncontrollably. I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" She's like, showing me, and I was like. She's like, I was like, go home. You don't need to be here. Get out of here. But I felt bad. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing she can do.
And and because that's so. There was a girl in LA that I was like really into, but she was not letting me like at all like have a shot. Like she was. And it was because she was just full lesbian, and she had said to me, she said, Quane, because you identify as bisexual in that way, like. I can't run that risk, you know? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? She's like, no, like, I can't run that risk. Like, because of the fact that you can go both ways, like, I can't run the risk of one day you decide you want to step out on me. And like,
and
right. And I understood it, but I was just like, I'm not going to do it if I'm with you though. Like
you're different.
Okay.
You sound like a dude.
Right.
Oh, you baby.
But I mean, to be honest, I've never cheated.
Oh, okay. It's not in your
nah, it's not in me. It's not in me. Now if I'm dating,
but she probably had like
open, like we're just dating. There's no titles or anything like
no titles. I'm free.
I'm free. Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely.
But she probably had some trauma.
Yeah, no, she did.
PTSD,
no, she did. No, she did. Because there was definitely an incident where that happened. So that's why, like, and so I respected it. So, like, we're cool. Like, just friends, like, just friends. So
you'd be hard-hiding all her pictures on you.
Like, no, not all of them. Like,
the thirst traps.
Like, yeah. But she don't even post thirst traps. Like, she's just, and I know, like, when people say this, sometimes they're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. But in a lot of cases, it's not really like, in some cases, I'm like, oh, they're bad. Like, I like the way that they look, But I'm definitely a personalities person.
Oh, okay.
I can say, my friends can say that a couple of the people that I've dated may not have been the most attractive at all. But I love their personality. You know what I mean? I like their energy. I just like the way that we flowed together. Like, So yeah. I'm one of those. I'm one of those.
Like you don't gotta worry about her seeing your man.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
That's dope though.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like more of these days age, like the younger people. Because you say you're 35.
I'm 35. Yes.
You notice it more like the shallowness, I guess, or appearance based relationships.
Absolutely.
But I knew girls that were like, I hate dudes who are pretty because they're boring.
Oh.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, he's good looking, but have you had a conversation with him? It's like dry, and I was like, I don't shit.
No, that's I had a girlfriend. I remember one time we were at like this. We were at a party, but it was like a game night situation, and there was a guy there he was absolutely gorgeous, and it was so funny because like a lot of the girls that were there were kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna speak to him. Like I'll observe him from a distance, and she made a comment like that, saying, oh, he's probably really shallow and all this other stuff, and I was like, what? Me, I don't care. I went over and I was cracking jokes and talking with him and everything else. And I went back around and I said to her, I was like, actually, he was really cool. Like, you should go talk to him if you're actually interested. Like, and she's like, no, he's too pretty. Like, okay. So there really are. But I think that's the same thing with women.
Yeah. A lot of women say that. Like, if you would just shoot your shot, you never know because nobody would approach them because they're like, very pretty and shit.
Right. Yeah. I feel like sometimes that's what I get too. I do. Yeah. I do. And then so a lot of times, like if there is like a man or woman that does approach me, it's after they've seen me around a couple of times and they've seen me in certain environments, when I'm like out with friends and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Like, okay, now I want to actually get to know her. Now I'm go ahead and speak. I'll be honest with you. My DMs are dry. Okay.
Really?
Yes. Okay.
You have a very aesthetic page.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you present like prettiness.
Just
you know what
me.
I'm saying?
That's
so
it.
Like you would think like all her DMs are probably like super popping.
Yeah. No, but even then, like it's not. Okay, so I feel like I should backtrack in the sense of like nobody's actually going in there and trying to like hit on me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh my gosh, I really like that quote, or oh, where were you at and doing this? Like it's on that level, and I think it's because that's how I present myself to be. You know, where like if you're gonna come over here, I need you to come over correct.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, your page doesn't scream like ho.
Yeah.
Like slide a dick pic or something. Yeah.
No.
It doesn't do that.
No.
That's
yeah.
good.
No. And if they try,
block.
More than that. Okay.
Expose them and shit.
No, actually I don't do that. Like, I know, because I've had friends do that too.
Like go to the girls page or something?
No, if somebody's ever sent something like that, oh yeah, they push that picture out.
Oh, good.
They push it out. Yeah.
That's such
with the name. They don't
with
just
the name.
With the
tag
name.
them.
Exactly.
Tag them and the girl. What's up?
Exactly. And I'm just like, oh, but that's more so my East Coast friends.
Oh yeah, they're a little bit more bold. Huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're more aggressive naturally out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I wanted to ask you, and it's like way off topic. The FOE.
Yes.
Is that like a promotion company?
So it's Family Over Everything. They started back in like sometime last year, and it's pretty much like an entertainment group. We do a lot of like promotions for like different events at a lot of the venues within downtown, and it's more so just like, I don't know how best to explain it, but I do enjoy. I'm more on the back end, like the behind the scenes. So I do a lot of the handling for like the social media, doing like the contracts whenever we're booking artists and whatnot, or the contracts between us and the venues. I definitely do enjoy it. It's something different. It takes me outside of my comfort zone.
Puts you outside.
It does. Yeah. It does, because I'm definitely, like I said, I'm an introvert.
Yeah. But if you have a reason to be out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and that's the only time where I technically do go out. Like when I'm out at the different venues is because we're actually, a part of. Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, I see they promote a lot of Mete.
Yes, yeah. Downtown. So for them, we typically do the Sunday, like the Sunday events. Okay. Not too many of them, but just enough. And then in some cases, it's more so just like, helping with like booking the artists and like, that portion. So we split it between other entertainment groups. That's what I do enjoy as well, because the network aspect of it all, definitely.
Definitely bring you in more clients too.
Yeah. I don't really do a lot of promotion on that, but that is something that I definitely will start doing.
I used to do nightclub promoting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This was a while ago. And I remember thinking at the time, I went, when I was younger, I guess when I was doing that, I was more on I want to work for myself. I don't want to work for nobody. And so, but I didn't see the opportunities I was missing. Yes. Which was, you can work and use that to like get you more of this,
exactly.
To like, I didn't see it at the time. Now, right. Hindsight. But I remember when I started working, I was like, damn, all these people I'm interacting with, because I was in sales. Right. Like I'm like, what you doing this weekend?
No, come absolutely. Through, I mean, and I'm still new to it too. So that's the other part of it. I'm new to it. So there's dynamics there that I'm learning as far as like, the culture of it all. It's different. It is different, which is why I typically only go whenever we're actually having events and things of that nature. But I think the part that I enjoy most about it too, because we definitely do a lot of events with like Mete, but then we also do it with like Phantom. As well, more so with Phantom, because right? yeah. So we do a lot of events there as well. We have what's called Sucker Free Sunday. And then we definitely support like others and whatever events that they have going on as well. So I do like that dynamic as well. And then also because we do a lot of networking with the other different entertainment groups as well, it definitely opens doors to like, promoting and supporting other events, or them approaching us about, hey, we're looking to do this. So, like bringing everybody together. So there's different things like the conglomerate, like, where it's three different, it's us and then High Def and I believe it's Next Level. We do events with them as a whole as well. So it's really cool. It is.
I miss it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not an environment for somebody who wants to be in a relationship as a guy. As a guy, yeah.
I think it just depends on how you carry yourself as well, in it all, because I mean, I'm pretty sure that at some point in time, like even for me, coming into it, like, you know, I'm pretty sure people thought like, oh, she's probably
for the streets, or
you know what I mean? But I carry myself a certain kind of way. So that's what makes it easy for me to just, you know, to still be a part of, but still, you know, carry in a different. Absolutely. It's all about that at the end of the day. So. You know?
No, I was on some.
Oh, you were in a different space.
Yeah, different space, and I was like,
okay.
When I got out, I was like, yeah, I need to chill out.
Yeah. So, but
it was fun.
I'll say for sure, like I do enjoy FOE. And it's also, for me personally, it's definitely opened me up to networking with other people. So like I recently started doing like a couple of like the modeling promotions for like Joyer.
Okay.
So
what is that?
They do clothing, sunglasses, like purses. They're I don't know entirely like how long they've been, you know, for, but I appreciate the growth and the experience from it, because I've definitely met a lot of more people, like met more people because of it. And then doing that has opened me up to meeting a lot of like the local photographers out here and doing, you know, work with them. And then cases like this, you know, being able to come up and do podcasts. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it because this side of me, I don't typically present, you know, to everybody. I keep it in the reserve because I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, no way. No wonder we vibe. I'm Libra.
Are you?
Yeah, my fiance's an Aquarius.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I show enough, but you're never gonna really know me. You know,
that's important though.
It's very important. It's very important. You know,
you don't want to give to every. You don't want to show your whole hand.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you don't. Definitely not out here.
Is it? Yeah. Listen, have we been running into the same ops? What's going on?
But yeah, so it's I like it. I definitely like it. Because I mean, for me personally, I do realize that community is very important to me. Community is definitely very important to me. So being exposed to all of those different dynamics as well, I like that I can, you know, go and talk with my boss and just be like, hey, like, what if we do this, or like, you know, run different ideas and whatnot. So
that's important too.
It's cool.
Gotta get that creativeness out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you bottled it up. And
no, you do. I've come to realize too that you can't just do one thing. Like you absolutely cannot just do one thing. Like you have to find like,
you have to have some type of hobby.
Exactly.
Because then, you know, like intrusive thoughts might get the best of you.
Oh yeah, it can limit you. It can absolutely limit you, because I can tell you right now, I know for a fact, because there's been so many times where I've wanted to do like, you know, little modeling gigs and things of that nature. My goal is to model for Savage Fenty. I'm not going to say it's a goal. I am going to model for Savage Fenty. Watch out.
Look, I just want to meet Rihanna. And if you can help me with this?
Absolutely. You know, that would be, I mean, that in itself would be really dope. That's mother. Okay.
That's the love of my life.
Look, okay. She is.
I already told my girl, she shows up. If Ren's doing the first or something, we got.
But I in that way, like I do feel like, you know, doing the different things that I've been, you know, putting my hands in has been really nice, you know, because it's definitely stepped me out.
That's good.
For sure, and meeting people, and I definitely go to LA a lot more frequently to like, you know, network and whatnot as well. So it's cool.
You out there.
It is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, these are mine.
You know what? And I was looking around the room and I was like, man, I love these. But I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, did he like, you know, just pull them out and like, you know, but yeah, I really do like them because the
photography is mine. The only thing are not the two paintings right there. Those I bought.
Oh, okay.
An LA artist, but all the other stuff is mine.
Yeah. No, they're good.
Like, different styles.
Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I actually just did, recently, I just did a photo shoot with, his name is Lee Gill Photography, and he's doing a project right now called Tan Lines, Tan Lines project.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
sexy and respectful at the same time.
Oh yeah, no, and and that was different for me because I've never, you know, stepped out in that way. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing the project as a whole.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So
cool.
like, and he's still doing it. So there's like a couple people, you know, and so it's free for anybody to be able to just like, you know, reach out to him and whatnot. But his goal at the end of it is to open up and do like a gallery showing and then a book afterwards. Oh. So that's yeah. Nice. I'm pretty excited about it.
I have an idea. I just need to find the right people, because you know you have a vision and you want to stick to it. But I do have a you know, not a gallery, but what is it, like a photo exhibition shoot that I want to do. I have the idea already. Like I have pieces that I'm gonna use and stuff like that. I just have to like execute it now. Yeah. But there's this guy. His name's he goes Nitty. But have you heard of the food porn? He's a photographer. He does film photography.
Oh, really?
And he does this thing called food porn.
Yeah.
And so he does is like poses people, men and women, with food and like sexual but classy, but involving food, and so cool.
Ooh, so I like that. Yeah.
I have one of his magazines. I'll show you when we're done.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to be like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, is he local?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We definitely going to get his IG. Look.
Yeah. His stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
And I tell him, like, you don't worry about people.
No.
Because there's a lot of people who would want to copy it.
Yeah.
He's like, I just hope I don't. Like, I don't mind inspiring somebody, but if they copy...
But you know, there's also, I feel like even with that, it's in the same way, like, you know, where they'll say like, oh, a lot of women do eyelash extensions, or a lot of people do. But each person, there's no... It's not about the competition of it all, because people are going to come to you based off of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So regardless, like, yeah, he could be starting it and somebody could be inspired by it, but they're going to do the concept. Their concept may be different than theirs, than his. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't think anybody should ever worry about that.
I believe that 100%, especially with photography. Because you can be like two photographers side by side looking at the same person. And the pictures are going to be way different.
Yeah. Exactly. It's all in the eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of the holder. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like, it's cool.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. I like that for you out here.
Yeah.
Trying new things.
Yeah. I'm definitely on food porn. I'm on.
I think he's working on his new one. He's done like 5 volumes now.
Oh wow! Really?
He's really good. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Mm-hmm. It's like each one, more and more people are like, hey, like.
Right.
Can I participate?
Yeah, because that's what happened with the Tan Lines project. What happened is I was on Instagram, and it popped up, you know, when they had the little ads in between, and so it popped up saying like Tan Lines project, and when I saw it, I was like, I almost signed up for it, you know, but then afterwards I was like, wait, is this real? Let me just screenshot it real quick, you know, just to save it for the archives for later.
Yeah.
And then literally, I want to say like maybe like 4 or 5 days later, there's a tattoo artist out here, and she did a shoot with him for the Tan Lines project. And when she posted it on her Instagram, I looked and I said, oh my gosh, this is the same thing. So I actually commented and I said, I totally thought this was fake. I saw the flyer for it and everything. And she was like, no, he's real. It's dope. And then he was like, I'm real. It's dope. Like, so I went ahead and I messaged him, and then like, I think I messaged him that Monday, and we scheduled for that Friday, and it was cool. It was very professional, like, you know, just the whole dynamic of it all. So.
Especially with, you got to be comfortable.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to be comfortable, and then also whoever it is that's doing the work, like if when they come in with that kind of mindset as a whole, it does make it easier for you too, you know. So
I think I've only shot with one person I was like not comfortable with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was just too much.
Oh, got you.
Like,
yeah.
I don't like this. You know,
yeah.
She was loud, and we were in public, and
no. Oh, yeah, no, that's too much.
It wasn't like classy at all.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
Like I almost like scrapped shooting people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like too much.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the people, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You got to feel comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm definitely... Because I am awkward. I'm definitely awkward, but I find that the more that I've been, you know, stepping out of my comfort zone in that sense, like it's been one dope experience after another.
That's good.
Like, yeah.
And I hope you never run into like a bad experience.
You know, me too. I mean, so far I feel like I've my judgment has been good. discernment. You definitely have to use it, you know, but thus far, like it's been good to me.
Can I ask you, how did you feel when I asked you to do the podcast? Like, I'm always curious to like wonder like because I literally shoot like DMs, like if I find like an interesting profile, I'll be like, hey, you seem interesting. Like,
So when I first got the message from you, I was like, oh, okay. So I went to your page, right? And I was just scrolling and I was looking, and then I saw Rashad.
Oh, Rashad. Yeah,
I saw Rashad and I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Right then and there, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and do Rashad's it. Like,
vibe,
yes, yeah.
He was fun,
because between because he does Soulful Sundays and Neo Soul Tuesdays, and so that's at Phantom. So that's right. Yeah.
I asked him about that. I was like, is it because it has like a rep for being a little jagged, rough
towards the end.
And he's like, yeah, so it's still a hookah spot. So
it's still a hookah spot. For me, and I'm like, oh, So for me, I do enjoy Neo Soul. I do. I like when there's like, when they have different performers that come out. And then, they do give an opportunity for, people that actually come in and they can sign up to perform and whatnot. And I do love live music. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love my live music. It's such a vibe, like, because it's different, For me, it's the after, because I want to see it continue. You know what I mean? So like, afterwards, once it ends, the whole vibe does switch. It does.
Because they put the regular music,
right? Exactly. Yeah. But I would definitely love a little bit more, like R&B, a little bit more soul, like, because there's good music out there.
Yeah,
there is, and there's also some really dope like local artists between like San Diego and LA. Like I would love to see some more, more of that. Local talent, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a hookah spot and people want to go and like. It is,
but I mean, most of the people that do show up though for Neo Soul are the ones who are actually looking for more of like a space like that, though. Oh, they actually are
a business idea for somebody.
Yeah. So
like R&B only.
I mean, because look at how many people turn out for Soul Sundays, and they only do that once a month, but the vibe in itself.
I've been meaning to go, but Sundays is such like either I need that day to like do nothing, like, because I work during the week and I work Saturdays, so Sundays is like the day I want to just chill, or I'll go chill with my family.
Got you.
So like I really
even told my parents, like I told my mom recently, I said, hey, you and Daddy should go to Soul Sunday, because it is that kind of space though, you know what I mean? We're like, and I totally get where you're coming from, where it's like, oh, but I'd much rather just chill and relax. But even that, like the time that they have it in, it's so ideal. By the time it ends, like you can just go home and relax afterwards, because
I'm gonna try to check it out.
It creates you leave there feeling good. You do. You definitely leave there feeling good because the cohesiveness of it all is just really nice,
and that's all I hear about that place.
Every single time. It does not disappoint. It does all I hear is
good vibes. Like I had friends who actually were on the podcast who introduced me to Rashad.
Oh, really?
But I would always see them go and they're like, you gotta go, Join. It's fun. And I was like, okay, maybe
absolutely.
One day.
Absolutely.
I think I'll go this month.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. Oh, are they doing it this month?
I hope so.
August? No, because I know that there's 1 month where they're going to be skipping because there's something else happening soon. Okay. So, yeah. But definitely, I mean, go to their IG page and check.
I'm just Rashad.
Right. There you go, too. Ask Rashad.
You've met him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I like this vibe.
Yes, he is. Cool, every single time. Yeah. Because I met him. So I actually met him through, I don't know, do you know Brisa?
No.
She's a singer. Like, I mean, she does like other things as well, like within the community. But she's also an artist. And so I met him through her. Oh, like, yeah, because they've definitely worked together a couple of times. So, yeah.
That networking.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Still networking, doing a podcast, meeting different people.
Right.
I love
it. Exactly.
I love these random conversations.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was wondering, too, because even when, when I was on my way over here, I was like, okay, so how's this going to go? Like, are we just going to just talk freely and then it just, just go from there? Like, because it does take me a little while to open up. So I'm glad that you just brought in, you know what I mean? Like, like just brought in okay with this and all that.
It's funny because I still get nervous every time I do one because I never know how the conversation is gonna go.
Yeah.
And like I just think, okay, just find something to start with.
Right.
And just let it flow.
Yeah. No.
But I try to keep like mental, like how I brought up the FOE.
Right.
I was like, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
But normally I just like,
right.
we'll see.
Yeah. Because with FOE, it's Rico. So Rico is the CEO, and then afterwards they have Olin. Do you know who Olin is?
I'm not.
So Olin, and then afterwards Mike. They're like Mike is it's CEO, and then I forget what Mike's actual title is, and then right after that is Olin, and then I'm just the executive assistant. Well, not I'm just, but I'm the executive
Respect
assistant.
on your name, please.
Exactly. You know.
Don't sell yourself short like that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So we definitely outside of the other venues, we definitely work closely with Phantom though, with Vegan. Yeah, we definitely work closely with them. So yeah.
I like that. I miss those promoting days. It's rare that I go out.
Yeah.
Last time I went out was my bachelor party.
Yeah.
That was in June. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so bachelor party. You get married soon.
December.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Exciting.
Yeah.
The other day she was like, we were talking about something. Oh, because I'm a 49er fan.
Okay.
And we wanted to go to a game. I was like, oh babe, they're playing the Eagles in Philly. On the day we're getting married. She's like, and I knew that, but she was like, babe, that's the day of our wedding. And the way she said, I was like, oh, this feels real. Like, because we've been together for a while, and I was like, oh, damn, I never heard her say that. Like, oh shit, like I'm about to be a husband.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just had a client today too who's getting married this weekend.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, and I was just like, a woman. Okay. Yeah. Right. I know we do have to ask that question. We do. Yeah. But yeah, that's really exciting.
That's cool. Good for her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Not for her. I'm just talking about it in general. Like, because now I'm thinking about me. I'm like,
But you're young though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I got time.
For sure.
I got
when
time.
I was younger, I was like, I don't even want to think about marriage until I'm in my 30s.
Yeah.
And so obviously I went a little bit longer, but
right.
but I was like, man, I want to live before I get married.
Right. See, I definitely didn't even have that mindset. Like, even when it came to kids, I was like, I want to have my first before I'm 25.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, no, for real. But you know why I was thinking, like, because my parents, like my mom had me young, and in my mind, I was like, I want to be able to relate to my child and like be able to have those comments. But it don't even matter about the age. Like, now I realize that now, so even
the concept of time is kind of wild, right?
Oh, it really is.
When you're younger, you're like 30.
Yes,
grandma.
Exactly.
And then you hit 30, you're like, damn.
Okay.
I ain't even that old.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm proud to be 35 because I'm like, man, I look good. Okay. Like, I look good. I like this, I do. I absolutely do. But even my friends now who don't have kids, I'm like, girl, take your time.
One of my boys told me, he was like, don't even
rush it.
And I started doing the math because I'm 40. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, my dad died when I was 14. If I can give like my kid a good 20,
it'll
be all right. Like,
right, exactly.
That's a good number. That's more than my dad gave me.
Yeah,
so it sounds weird, but it's just like 20.
Yeah.
If I give him 20 good, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I would have been able to teach him or her something.
Oh yeah, during that
time,
to
survive in life and shit.
Absolutely, because like even just like the dynamic between my two boys, like I see the difference. They are definitely a reflection of me and what space I was in at each point in time. I know.
So that 10-year-old's a little free, huh?
No. He's actually a lot more reserved and like, more so with me though. Let me be, let me reel it back. With me. And that's because of the way that I approached parenting was definitely how my parents were raising me. But then I realized now that it's really each child's different. You have to parent based off of like your child and then help guide them. So now like with my 4-year-old, like I'm working to try and like, not necessarily backtrack, but, open up that dynamic with me and my oldest. More like open communication. When I ask him a question, he he's almost nervous to answer the question because he's like, okay, if I answer, it's going to be right or wrong, you know? And so I have to actually say like, hey, there's no right or wrong answer. Like, I'm asking you because I want to know, you know, I want you to tell me. My youngest has no problems doing that at all. Like, at all. He is very much, my mom says that he actually is exactly how I was when I was younger. Oh. Which is crazy. You know, like exactly how I was. And I'm like, really? You know, which is probably why I enjoy him so much too, because there's moments in time where he'll say something and I don't even get upset. I'm just like, you know what, you're right. But also at the same time,
I'm your mother.
Yeah, that part, okay.
Watch your mouth.
Right. But I mean, it just doesn't come across that way. But yeah, like I can see the difference in the two, you know, like for sure. And so for me now, that's why I'm so quick with like friends that are like, oh, you know, I feel like I'm running out of time. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, take the time, you know, like definitely take the time because it's
hard work.
It is, you know, because I feel like at this point in time, like I'm still learning and, you know, myself and who I am. And at this point, you know, and I think like you're always forever doing that because you're ever evolving as life happens, you know. But with my youngest, it's definitely it's caused me to reflect a lot, you know, in a different way, and I do enjoy.
That's dope.
Like I do.
When are their birthdays?
So Jaden is July 12th. Oh. And then so he's a Cancer. Yes. And then Quincy is December.
Quincy, I like that name.
December 17th. He's a Sag baby. Yes. Nice. So I got the best of both. I really did. You know?
You look like dating my girl, I got more into like astrology, you know, because women are into that.
Yeah, and most Aquariuses are really into it.
Yeah. She has this book and she's like, breaks down like which couples would be best and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, because I have a couple like that. I have so I have like one where it actually goes even further than just the dynamic of like, you know, the different compatible relationships. It really breaks down like each individual within the zodiac sign and like everything from like personality traits, how they are in their family, first, second, or third child, like, you know, even down to like sexual compatibility. Like it breaks it all down. Yeah. And I love to pull that out. I don't share it with anybody, but like as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, you're what? Oh, okay. Keep it in the memory bank because as soon as I get home, I'm opening up that book and I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. You know,
I'll let you know how I feel.
Right, exactly, yeah. And then I did have this is so funny. So I did have one experience with like one of my girlfriends and one of her friends, and I've done a lot of exploring in the last 2 years. Like I not too long ago, I actually experienced like doing shrooms for the first time really? Too. And that was,
I've thought about that.
That was, I will say, so the first time it was like a small dosage. So it was more so like, you know, it's just like very, just as if you smoke, like smoking
controlled.
Weed. Yeah, you know, very controlled. The second time, however, they doubled the dosage, and that I want to do it again. I will say that much now. I definitely want to do it again. And then do the same thing, like, you know, the small dosage, and then afterwards do the double again, because it was more on a like in a spiritual way. Where that whole experience for me, it wasn't negative. It was very beautiful. Like I did cry a couple of times, you know, but because I don't know, like if you've ever had like anybody like, you know, talk about it, but it's kind of like almost like an out of body experience to a degree, but in a good way, where you come out of yourself and you see you for the first time. And after me doing that, that's actually when I really started to step out of my comfort zone.
Oh, wow.
Because doing that, I'm a fan of me in the most modest way possible. But you can ask my friends. As soon as I say, there's a level of because some of my friends will say like, oh, you know, cocky or whatnot. I'm like, no, I'm convinced. Like I am convinced, you know. Like, okay. I know that when I walk into spaces, I know what I'm bringing in when I'm walking into those spaces. I carry it with me. And when I had that experience with the shrooms, it was seeing myself for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Like, not in a physical sense, but overall, you know, and I absolutely enjoyed that, like truly enjoyed it, you know, where I started to actually see, because I saw myself, I understood why certain people mistreated me or mishandled me, you know what I mean? Why in certain like relationships, whether it be platonic or not, why they would do things to try and like minimize my, you know, my light or my power in certain senses, and me not knowing, allowing for that. And now I will not, right. You know, I absolutely will not. So just off of that alone. And it was only for like, I think maybe like 2-3 hours. It was like 2-3 hour trip situation. But the guy who did it, you know, who was like administered it to us and everything, he had like frequency music playing in the background. Yeah. He had the sound bowls, you know, so we were doing the sound bowls as well. And it was just, it was awesome. Damn, it really was, you know, as long as you're in a controlled environment, for sure. Because I would not recommend, I could not see myself or understand why anybody would do it and then go out.
Like out?
Yeah. No. Like why? Like,
that's like a fear of mine. And I said it last time, I was like, I don't want to take it and be like, oh, I bet I could fly.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to be where somebody's like monitoring me.
In the home. Like stay in the house.
The last girl I had on here that she took it, or she does it, she said there's like this Netflix movie or documentary that all it does is play like it plays like flowers and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, that's how you have to do it. Like she's like, it's so amazing. And
yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
That's no, for sure.
I have a fear of like drugs.
Yeah. You know? Oh yeah, no, none of those. I mean, outside of weed, but that's it.
What is it? Weed's not a drug.
I know.
I like those memes are all like something about like cocaine is not that serious, and they're like, no, that's the serious drug. Like,
yeah. I mean, to me personally, I feel like it is. Like, yeah. Definitely. I mean, I tried it once, and I didn't see the point in it.
You don't like it?
No, not at all.
Such like a common drug now.
Yeah. No, there's no way. I did it, and I was just like, yeah. Because, like, everybody else around me was, like, hyped up and whatnot. And I was just kind of like, you know? Yeah. So,
I know. It might be almost like a placebo effect, you know? Like,
yeah, it brought me down and I was tired.
Oh. So that's not good.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't see the hype.
They gave you like a sleeping pill.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Because after a point, I was like, I'm gonna go outside and smoke.
They're like, what?
Right? And they're like, already? I'm like, yes, absolutely, yeah. So, but yeah, no, I definitely, if you ever get an opportunity, I would definitely recommend.
Something I'm definitely gonna consider.
Yeah, but stay in the house.
Stay in
the house. Because I actually, when we were doing it, I actually walked out of the house. I walked out of the house, and everything changed. Like the environment changed. Like it was, yeah. So
that could be confusing.
It was.
Just stay in the house.
It was. Yeah, no, for sure. Just stay in the house. There's no point. There's no point. Stay in the house. Yeah.
Well, I will let you go so you can enjoy your night.
The rest of the evening.
You know, cool little hour and a half chit chat went by quick.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
It was very
I appreciate being invited.
Dope energy. Good conversation. I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll check in with you again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How everything's going.
Absolutely.
Keep the hair short. Looks good, though.
I know. You know, before I actually came out, I was like, I need to bleach it because I haven't bleached it in a while. Oh. And I was like, nah, I'm going to leave it. Yeah.
Before we go, I had bleached my hair because I wanted it gray. Like that.
Oh, yes.
Like platinum gray?
Yes.
Because I have a lot of gray hairs around. So I was like, if it's all gray, it'll just look like it's growing in naturally.
Yeah.
But it ended up, the girl didn't do it right. So she just pretty much just bleached my hair.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I did the purple shampoo.
Yes.
And then after a while, it turned what I wanted gray.
The best one for purple shampoo. So I'm a beauty school dropout as well. Like I didn't get to finish. But like for me personally, the best purple shampoo that I've used is by Olaplex.
Okay.
Like theirs is really good. I use that every single time. Like after I lift my hair, I use that. And then the best bleach for me personally, I feel like is Guy Tang. He has the best developer. Like his developer is.
You do it yourself?
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm a hire you.
Yeah. I do it myself every single time. Yeah. I don't go to anybody. There's no point. I get my barber to cut my hair, Paul, and then afterwards I just go ahead and bleach it once I get home.
What's up?
Yeah. So.
Well, good conversation.
Yes.
I appreciate you. You shoot out your little Instagram so they can follow you.
Oh, I'm gonna
be respectful.
I'm gonna have to spell it out because, but it's at Quane.Randolph, and so it's QUANE.RANDOLPH.
I'll put it right at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate the conversation, and we'll see. Do it again sometime.
Check in. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.
Yeah. You looking for me, you can find me at the spot. Chopping it up with Jonah. We talking about what's hot on the block. Up in Dago, man, we bumping. Keeping it confidential, you know this how we coming, we ain't friend. Looking for that real, better tune in and stick by. Put on for the city every time that I dip by. Getting to that gritty every time that we sit down. Promise you it's real every time that I get round. Come on. Been in the field playing, we